It looks good right now.
Oh, okay, perfect.
My man. Grant, how's it going?
It is going. How are you?
Hey, doing well, doing well. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
Are you out in Florida right now?
Yep. Yep.
Yep. So, life as a married man, how's that going for you so far?
Really good. We've been married a little over a month, and so far I'm batting 1,000 on being a husband. So,
Yeah, curious, does Florida always feel like kind of like a honeymoon to you coming from the Midwest?
yeah, definitely coming from the Midwest. We were planning on going back to Nebraska for Christmas, and Nebraska got 49 inches of snow, so we weren't able to make it there. And I was never more thankful to be living in Florida than I was when I found that out.
Yeah, it's pretty gnarly out here. Um, I'm from the Midwest, moved to California. I'm back in the Midwest right now. So from one Midwesterner to the coast to another, how fed up are you with Wizard of Oz references?
Yeah, man, definitely. And I lived in Kansas too, so yeah, I definitely got Wizard of Oz references all the time.
Yeah, Kansas here too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Nice.
Yeah, I ran into you in Wichita one time.
Really?
Yeah, it was maybe 2 summers ago. There's some fights going on down here, and I ran into you and James Krause at the concession stand, and we had a little back and forth over who is better between Toth and Zuko.
Well, I don't remember this. I'm sorry.
No, it's
No,
okay.
I
It's
don't.
okay. Yeah,
Who did we decide was better?
you said Zuko, but I was about to prepare a PowerPoint for you as to why Toth's better.
I'd love to hear it.
I'm still working on it because it's all anecdotal, and I'm not too sure if I make a strong case. The more I look into it, the more I'm kind of swaying your direction.
I will say, Toph invented metal bending, and when you invent something, like I think that's they all have their own unique skills. Like Katara can blood bend, which is super unique and cool. Metal bending, and then redirecting lightning. I personally think not being able to use lightning, but being able to redirect it is more impressive in my own opinion.
That whole last Agni Kai, that's pretty hard.
Yeah, it did, but man, I have weird feelings about it because I feel like obviously Azula was not on her best day, and Zuko was real good, and it was still close. It was still close. I think in terms of just fighting, I think Azula when she's on her A game beats Zuko. Just
Oh
personally.
yeah. No, I agree. I remember she was still slipping, and it was still like pretty 50-50 as far as
It was
the
very
highlight
50-50.
showed.
Yep, a very 50. And the only thing that saved him was the fact that she knew that he could redirect lightning. If she didn't know that he could redirect lightning, I feel like she would have used her lightning a lot more.
Oh yeah, poor Katara, huh?
Yeah, for sure.
Just got the bad end of that. You ready for this segue? Speaking of not 50-50, most of your fights very dominant. I'm curious, humbly, would you consider yourself the best back taker in the UFC?
Yeah, I would think so. I think that I'm pretty confident that if you start me on anybody's back, I don't think they're going to be able to get away from me. I don't know the numbers, but just in my head, once I've gotten the back, I don't think there are very many people that have gotten away from me. Jared Gordon got away from me once in the second round. It was a mistake that I made, and I knew the mistake that I made, and I was thinking in my head, I'm being real dominant here. I'm winning this clearly. I think I can take a risk here, and it didn't pay off for me, but I think I learned my lesson there. So once I get the back, I think I'm going to be able to bank around pretty easily.
I have two things that I want to get to following that. One, obviously, I want to ask you about the Gordon Pimblett decision, if you agreed with that, and if not, is there anything we could do about the judging in MMA right now? You frequently don't go to the judges, but
yeah, and man, but you can't finish everybody. You're going to be going to the judges. It happens. I thought Jared Gordon won clear as day. I thought it was 3-0 in my opinion. Could be 2-1, but definitely thought he won. I was literally I tweeted congratulations Jared Gordon before they read the decision, and I was like, oh my goodness, like how did they get that wrong? Here's my issue. I don't have a clear solution. My opinion is if you have 5 judges and open scoring, I think that fixes a lot of problems. Will it be bulletproof? Absolutely not. Is there a bulletproof answer? Absolutely not. The thing that upsets me is there's so many shows a year and we're not even trying different things. We're not even like, hey, this one show we're going to have 5 judges instead of 3 just to see what happens. Hey, this one show we're going to have open scoring just to see what happens. You know, that my issue is that we're not even trying to fix the problem. It's just, this is the way things are. You got to deal with it. And that kind of, that's kind of my issue with it is there's always going to be problems, but we're not even trying to fix it. That's what I'm struggling with.
Yeah, and especially when you look at it in terms of other sports that have withstood this test of time, MMA is still essentially in its infancy stage. So if there's ever been a time to workshop anything, it'd be now.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like we've tried to take, back in the day, it was who has the best discipline. And now MMA is its own discipline. And so we need to have our own like scoring criteria. I don't know what the answer is. I like the 10-9 must system. I like that we score round by round. But I just think convincing 2 out of 3 people that you want to fight is pretty easy to do. So, you know, everybody's human. They can make mistakes. I had another idea where it's like, you get the fans involved where you like they can vote. It wouldn't have any, you know, impact on the decision, but it's like, you know, this judge scored it for this person, this judge scored it for this person, and the fans, the majority of the fans that were in the building scored it for this person, just to kind of see like, you know, okay, is it an issue with popularity? Is it an issue with our judges aren't trained properly? What's going on here, you know? And I just feel like without us looking into it, you know, we're going to have a lot of bad decisions.
That's a very good idea. I know for the most part, it's all very arbitrary. And a lot of people are requesting former fighters become judges, which I feel like if any team should know the issue with that firsthand, it would be you and Glory. Because I remember when James Krause took the Trevin Giles fight on short notice, he lost a split, I believe, and one of the judges had history with Trevin Giles being at his gym and such. And he scored a very clear James Krause round for Trevin, and I believe that was a tilting point in that fight.
Yeah, it was absolutely ridiculous. James took the guy down in the first 10 seconds, took his back for the entire round, ended on top. Trevin landed no damage at all. And the guy who he got his black belt with, they both got their black belt on the same day, you know, scored it for him. If I was a judge and my boy Tiago was fighting, he's not losing a round. He's getting 10-8 rounds across the board. So, like, that's clear reason why I shouldn't be a judge, because I would be extremely biased in that situation. So when you have like, hey, these guys train together, that shouldn't have been a thing. Absolutely, it should not have been a thing. My other issue with judging is they hold so much power with absolutely zero repercussions, zero consequences. Jared Gordon got half of his paycheck that night. Jared Gordon got another loss on his record. Jared Gordon didn't get the biggest win of his career when he clearly did win. And all 3 of those judges went back to the hotel and got perfectly good sleep that night. You know, there's just no punishment, no suspension, no money ban, nothing. Like, they just not ruined his life, but set his life back quite a bit for no reason, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Like, they didn't even care. I'm sure they went to bed just fine that night.
Yeah, he probably had a whole post-fight interview that he'd been practicing in the mirror for the past 2 weeks. And, yeah, last second, he just couldn't do it.
Ridiculous.
I'm just killing it with the segues today. Speaking of post-fight interviews, okay, your Tony Ferguson call-out has got to be one of my favorite of all time. That was a super good one.
I'm glad you like it, because I've been getting a lot of crap calling out Tony Ferguson. So,
no, that's a beautiful call-out. It makes sense.
That's what I said. He at
just
the
breaking
time,
the top 15
above me. He's a huge name. Whatever. It made sense to me, but we'll see. We'll see.
Are there any updates on that front?
No. I think I've heard that Tony is in school. Like, he went to Harvard or something like that. So
yeah, my man's at Harvard.
Good for him, man, because he's definitely not very good at fighting. So maybe he can get some type of degree that'll help him out. But I'm a little bummed I'm not getting that fight, but I'm in the top 15. And we're moving on to bigger and better things.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, if there was an avoiding Grant Dawson 101, a lot of fighters would be in that.
I appreciate that. But man, my guy didn't have to go get student loan debt to avoid me.
Yeah, he wanted Grant Dawson. He got a Pell Grant instead.
Nice.
Is there anybody else on your radar right now, or are you just kind of seeing what happens?
Man, I'm helping my boy Thiago Moises. He's getting ready to fight January 21st in Brazil. So I've been helping him get ready for. He's actually on his way to my house right now. I've been helping him get ready for that. After that, we're looking for March, and we're talking Dan Hooker. We're talking Jalen Turner. We're talking, anybody that I don't train with, I'm down for. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say Jalen's right below you. I think he's 14. I think you're 13. I could be wrong.
He's 10.
He's 10.
Jalen's 10, so that makes sense to me. Jump there to 10. That's what I want.
And yeah, talk about a guy that's underrated right now too. I feel like you two are the people that the division needs to be talking about. Jalen Turner is on a phenomenal stretch right now. The Brad Riddell finish, that was gnarly. It's so quick too. And
Jalen Turner is the most dangerous dude in the top 15, in my opinion. Like I don't think he's the most well-rounded fighter. I don't think that he's championship material. But I will tell you what, that dude can beat anybody on any given night. He's so dangerous. Hits hard. He's huge for the division. Great guillotine. Good get up. Good cardio. The dude is dangerous.
Yeah, he's also a pretty good skateboarder too. I feel like that ties in somewhere.
I didn't know that. I had no idea about that.
Yeah, see, I got the skateboarding roots with me and him, and then the anime roots. Well, not anime, but like Avatar and a little bit of Dragon Ball Z too. That my heart would be torn for that fight. But ultimately, you're one of my favorite fighters. I make sure to watch you fight every time. I was out shopping whenever you fought Marco Madsen, and I stayed in the car to watch it on my phone.
Nice, man. Thank you. I appreciate that.
With that fight, that was probably your best performance in the UFC. Without a hitch. I think there was just a little bit of adversity in the first round. Looks like he caught you. Did he catch you, or was that a slip? Or
it was a little bit of both. It was more so a misread on my point. We noticed he likes to go jab, jab, cross a lot. And so when he went jab, jab, I thought the cross was coming. And so I went to go parry the cross and throw my punch on the over, but he went jab, 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 cross. And so I went parry, parry, and I parried with the wrong hand, missed, and he caught me right on the chin. A little bit of it was my feet weren't under me, but more so it was he timed. I just didn't see it coming. He timed it perfectly. I hit the ground. I was there the whole time. He just kind of put me on my butt. Didn't hurt. It's just one of those flash, like, oh crap, like he got me. And honestly, I think it was one of the best things that could have happened in that fight because, man, I had a really, really rough weight cut. Obviously, I had a really rough weight cut for the fight. And I think that punch kind of just woke me up a bit. I don't think I was all there going into the fight. And then when I got hit like that, it woke me up, got that competitive side to come out and got me going. So in a way, it was a good thing.
Yeah. I don't even start that fast when I'm playing the UFC video game. So that caught everybody off guard. Yeah. I do want to circle back to my question earlier. With that fight, I wanted to know when in your training did you realize like you were that guy when it came to taking the back, and how did that affect your mindset whenever you're scheduled to fight an Olympic wrestler? Were you relieved whenever you're starting to have success with the takedowns, or did you know it the whole time that you could do that?
Against Madsen?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, look, all respect to Mark Madsen. He's a good wrestler. He's a good fighter, great competitor, all that nonsense. But I'm telling you that Greco-Roman wrestling, purely Greco-Roman wrestling, is the worst of the three wrestling styles. The number one wrestling style for MMA is folk style. I would tell anybody that has the idea that they want to be an MMA fighter when they grow up, get into folk style wrestling, because you not only get the takedowns, you get the control. You work everything. Body locks, you work takedowns on the legs. I knew that when I got in on his legs, he wasn't going to have the experience wrestling there that I had. He probably spent 2 years, maybe 2 to 3 years wrestling on the legs. I've spent my whole life wrestling on the legs, and you're not going to catch up to me wrestling on the legs in 2 or 3 years. You got to do it your entire life. I've been doing it my entire life, and I knew once I got in on those legs, stay away from the body lock, it wasn't going to be too difficult to get him down.
Yeah, again, that was a beautiful performance. Do you think it's going to be the same game plan going against anybody next? Or are you going to have to adapt to different styles like Jalen Turner, for example? You mentioned his guillotine. Do you think you'd have to make any exceptions for him?
Man, I came from Glory MMA and Fitness, and the one thing that gym has, they're all really good guillotiners. I was there for 8 years. So for 8 years, I've been defending guillotines. Jalen would have to show me that he's a better grappler than me for me not to grapple with him. Also, the dude is like 6'12" and has a 99-inch reach advantage. So it's like I don't want to strike with that dude. I want to get it, get on the inside, get it mean and dirty, and take him down. As to answer your question, I'm going to out wrestle everybody I fight first. You're going to have to show me that I can't take you down before I'm going to start striking with you. I just think it's a better way to fight. I think it's a safer way to fight. I think it's got longevity. And I believe that it's the hardest thing to do in MMA. And it's the one thing that I'm like really, really world class at. So I'm going to keep doing it. I think if I get anybody down, they're going to have a long night with me.
Absolutely. But your calf kicks in the Mark fight, round 3, it shows you're not just a grappler. Those kicks were debilitating. You got the win. You got. Did you smell the finish on the feet or?
Yeah, it wasn't so much that. It wasn't so much in the beginning of the third round. It was at the end of the second round. I felt that that concede. Like, okay, you win. Like I'm exhausted. I'm tired. I don't want to do this anymore. You got me tonight. And I didn't feel that with Jared Gordon. Jared was trying to fight me the entire time. Jared was, not going to give up the entire time. And that's why the third round against Jared didn't look as good as the third round against Mark Madsen. When we came out, we kind of did that little touch gloves and kind of half hug. I could feel that he just didn't want to be in there anymore. He wasn't going to go for broke. It was more, let's survive instead of let's try to win. And so the game plan going in was to jab, heavy on the lead hand, and just constantly kick his leg. And I could really feel that the calf kicks earlier in the fight, although there weren't very many, were kind of weighing on him. So he's tired, kick his leg, keep moving forward, and it kind of all worked out.
Yeah, absolutely did. Higher up in the you're definitely like en route to being top 5 fighter. Prediction wise, I think you'll be top 5 by the end of 2023. Like you see certain fighters like Jamal Hill, for example. He just needed opportunity, right?
Right.
Opportunity came up and he took it, and I feel like that's where you're at right now. I think it's criminal how much you're not talked about. Like you're good on the mic, great at fighting, obviously, got a good hairline, soothing voice. You got it all, right?
Yeah, keep it coming. I like it.
No, but go ahead.
I think part of that is like, I'm not like trying to throw shade, but like if you look at Paddy Pimblett, take away his haircut, take away his accent, what is unique about him? Go ahead.
He likes food.
Yeah,
that's a stretch.
There's nothing unique about him. He's got the goofy haircut, and he's got a very interesting accent. Otherwise, I can't. Like, he's not phenomenal striker. He's not and the stuff that he says isn't even that clever. Like, it sounds more clever when you've got an accent. So I think there's something unique about him that people can kind of grab onto. With me, exactly what you see is what you get, man. I don't really do a whole lot. I like watching cartoons and training MMA, and that's literally all I do every single day. Ask me what I did today.
What did you do today?
I watched cartoons and I went to training, and after this interview, I'm going to go back to training. Like, that's literally all I do. So I feel like there's not a lot that fans can just snag onto and kind of work with Islam and with Khabib. They were Russian. They had the hats, like they had stuff that's recognizable. And I feel like I don't really have that, where it's just, yeah, he's a really good fighter. It's like, oh, Grant Dawson. It's like, yeah, he's a really good fighter. That's, like, yeah, he's good on the mic, yeah, but there's nothing that you can be like, oh my God, like, he's got that unique like look to him. But that's why Sean O'Malley is and Sean O'Malley's a great fighter, but like, that's why so many people love him. He's a pothead and he looks like a freak, but also he can fight, I'm just your basic white guy that's really good at fighting.
Yeah, O'Malley's got the poodle hair.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Which is really cool. It's really kind of a gift in and of itself, because you're forcing people. You don't have that abstract thing about you, but you're still forcing yourself to be talked about. Like I said, criminally not enough, but you're still up there. You're in the conversation, and I think if anybody deserved the Tony Ferguson fight, it would be you. But Jalen Turner, really anybody up, you deserve anybody up.
Yeah, I think the Hooker fight or the Jalen Turner fight, I think that is the fights that we are going after. Like I'm trying to get into the top 10 early this year, and then by the end of 2023, I'm hoping for a top 5. But it's all about like you said, the Jamal Hill route. Like the opportunity that comes, I'm gonna be ready to go. I'm gonna be ready to fight. So that's really all that matters right now.
I want to go back real quick. What cartoon was it that you were watching earlier?
Oh, what did we watch today? I watched. What did we watch today? It was. God, yeah, I'm drawing a blank. What did I watch? It was some anime we watched this morning. I can't remember. I'll have to ask my wife. I'm drawing a blank. What's up, bro? This is my guy right here.
Heyo. How's it going?
How are you, man?
Doing well. How are you?
Good, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
You got 2 UFC fighters in your interview now. Let's go. What?
How's it going, guys? Oh my good. Yo, where's Cameron at? Let's make it 3 pro fighters.
He went to work, so he's gone. We're in the UFC, so we don't have to work.
I met Cameron. Embarrassing enough, I met Cameron. I met him on Omegle.
Yeah, door's unlocked. Go in. Yeah, she's in there. She has up in the room though. Just go in. Cool. Sorry, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good. Yeah, thank you for that. Embarrassing enough, I actually met Cameron on Omegle like years ago, and I ran into him whenever I saw you guys at it was outside of Wichita, just outside of Wichita. But yeah, that dude's a homie. I keep up with him on Instagram. Every time you're fighting, I'm just like messaging him. I'm like, dude, I'm fucking stoked right now.
Yeah, Cam's a good kid, man. Yeah, he moved up here from Glory with me, and he's been training at ATT. Yeah, he's got a bright future, bro. If he keeps doing what he's doing, he's got a bright future.
Yeah, I watched that first his pro debut, and I was stoked for him, dude. I lost my shirt. I got excited. I didn't even know what was going on.
Yeah, he looked good, man. He looked real good.
I don't want to keep you for too long. I am curious. I don't want to get like too personal or any controversies, but I am wondering if you have been keeping up with James Krause and if he's holding up okay.
Me and James haven't talked. It's been about 7 or 8 months since we've really been in communication. I don't really know what's going on with him. It's just hearsay is what I'm hearing. I hope the best for him. I really do. He's always been good to me. He's always been a good guy to me, but I really have no idea what's going on with him. So I hope the best for him.
Yeah, I still show my friends like religiously the corner work and then the finish for the Leonardo Santos fight. It's got to be one of the most badass moments in the UFC.
Yeah, it was definitely something that'll stick with me for my entire life. You know, it was one of those movie moments that you just don't. You see it in TV and you're like, yeah, okay, like whatever. And then to have it happen in real life was something really special. So, man, I hope the best for James. I'm not sure what's going on with him, but I really hope that he gets everything figured out, and I hope that he gets back on track. Just last one for me. And this is more of a pitch than anything, so feel free to tell me to go away. You made it sound like that was a movie, and say perhaps your career is a movie. Do you think this is the point where you get some more attention, you turn heel? I have a good example. Your nickname can be antagonist or tagonist. So full name is Grand Tagonist Dawson. You just yeah, just go out there, start talking shit. Patty, you suck. Grand Tagonist. That's hilarious. I'll tell you, if my life ever becomes a movie, we'll just lie and say that my nickname was antagonist or tagonist.
Awesome. I'm on board for it. I appreciate the time. Thank you so much. Once I finish that PowerPoint as to why Toph is better than Zuko, I'll hit your DMs with it.
Yeah. Let's get back on an interview so we can debate, and we'll have to get like a third person in here to make sure like everything stays cordial. But I want to debate this. Let's go.
Okay, I'm ready. Whenever I saw you in person.
Here's the problem. I don't think you actually believe your statement. I think that you believed it. I think you're wavering on it, and I think you just want to debate now, which is fine. But if you don't come into a debate fully believing your point of view, you're going to be sorely mistaken, my friend.
So are you concrete on Zuko then?
Yeah, for sure, dude.
Oh,
Zuko is a war prince. is a war prince that got banished from his home, survived in enemy territory almost his whole life, and then comes back, beats the prodigy, even if she was a little off, beats the prodigy, and to become the new Fire Lord. Like, what? Toph, badass. I give you that. She was kind of a spoiled rich kid. Total badass. I give you that. But she doesn't have the life experience that Zuko has. Zuko, okay, I saw this the other day. We're getting kind of off topic, but Zuko, the difference between Zuko and Azula and Toph and all of these other benders, other than obviously Sokka, is Zuko is still dangerous when he can't use his firebending. We've seen multiple episodes where he was not able to use his firebending. When he rescued Aang from the Fire Nation, didn't use firebending. He used swords. That's it. And got away. When he fought in the Earth Kingdom against the dude with the hammers, whose name I can't remember.
Was it Jet?
No.
No. Oh, yeah.
But it was the Earthbender with the hammers.
Yeah.
And he kidnapped that one kid. Beat that dude without, I mean, at the end, he had to use his firebending and kind of expose who he was. But he was winning that before. And then he fought Jet in the Earth Kingdom without bending and won that too. So I'm saying is, like, he doesn't need his special superpowers to win. That's what makes him better.
Yeah, okay.
Does Toph win those fights? Does Toph win any of those fights without her earthbending? Other than being able to see?
I'm going to say no strictly because she's blind.
Well, I'm saying, like, she can use her earthbending to see. That's it. Does she win those fights?
I'm sorry, you cut out for the last 2 minutes. I didn't hear any of that. I can't debate with you right now. No, I don't have a good rebuttal for that. But okay, so we got the metal bending, which I think she might be the only one in Avatar in that show to create bending, right? The Katara didn't create blood bending.
No.
It was that old crazy bitch.
Yep.
I feel like she's the only one.
Yeah, but the old crazy bitch invented a bending. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so she's not the first one to invent something. It wasn't a main character. I'll give you that. But Iroh invented redirecting lightning, which is one. How do you do that without testing it? You know what I mean? Like, the old lady invented blood bending to escape a prison. And I get it. Full props. She invented metal bending. That's sick. That's awesome. I'm just saying, when it comes down who's better, who will survive, it's Zuko. Zuko's a survivor.
Zuko is a survivor. I think off character, maybe not who's like the most badass, but off character, there's been so many times where I'm just like, Zuko, you're breaking my heart, dog. Gotta treat Iroh better. Whereas Toph, yeah. she's sassy but she's always been there.
Yeah, but she also has no, like, and I like this because she is who she is. Like, I'm fine with that. But she also has no, like, what's the character development? Like, she's the same person from episode 1 with her to the end episodes with her. You know, like, she gets a little less sassy and she gets a little bit more about family, and you kind of get to see her. But she is who she is, which I'm completely fine with. Zuko goes from a spoiled teenager to, you know, basically becoming a good guy, then to making the wrong decision, to becoming a spoiled, like, not spoiled, but like he kind of hates himself and goes through depression and shit like that. So I feel like there's more layers to him. And honestly, I can't think of a better character arc than Zuko's, where he goes from so relatable, like so unrelatable to relatable to unrelatable to relatable, and it just all makes sense.
I grew up a huge Vegeta fan, so I will give Zuko. He has one of the best character arcs in any piece of content you can watch.
I agree 100%. And you know what the thing, I was just talking to Elle about this earlier. You know what the thing that makes Avatar so special is that season 2 feels like 3 seasons. And it's not, if there's not any extra episodes, there's not any extra, I mean, there's just so much happens between finding an earthbending teacher, making it to Omashu, finding Appa, defeating gosh dang it, what's his name? The guy that was deceiving the Earth King. Long Fang.
Yeah, Long Fang, yeah.
Defeating Long Fang, to unlocking the Avatar state, all the way to him basically dying and Katara bringing him back to life. Zuko goes through all of that. You know, when it starts off, he's still got the ponytail. He cuts that off. You know, it's such a huge arc in that giant season. That's one of the things that makes. Oh, and they find the library. They find the library and find the solar eclipses. All of that happens in season 2.
Yeah, season 2. That is my favorite. I do think that the final 2 episodes of book 1, where they fought General Zhao and with the Moon and Earth Spirit, I think from an animation standpoint, that's got to be some of the sickest stuff I've ever seen.
Yes,
where it's 100%. all black and white and red. That is so tight. Then
100%.
The final episode, of course, that it's hard to beat that. I honestly, my downside to season 2 is it's just so heartbreaking with Appa being missing. That's hard to watch for me.
Oh yeah, for sure. And a little fun fact: that is the only episode that shows actual blood. Is Appa missing?
Is it actually?
Yeah, it's the only episode that has actual blood in it.
Damn, I didn't know that.
Yeah, little trivia for you.
I'm gonna go back and rewatch that. I will have that PowerPoint ready for you next time, along with a Toph tattoo right next to my BoJack Horseman tattoo.
Let's go.
I got Toph right there.
I got Edward and Alphonse. I don't know if you can see it. Edward and Alphonse Alric from Full Metal Alchemist on my arm.
No way! How have I never noticed
that?
Why
am I so stupid? Death Note. That's what we watched this morning.
Death Note. Okay.
Death Note. Oh my god, which I've seen 1,000 times. So we were going through it again. Oh my god, I can't believe I blanked on that. That is what we were watching, and that's also my next tattoo, by the way.
Is it?
Yeah.
What are you getting?
I'm getting light, and I have a picture of it. I'll hit me up in my DMs. I'll send it to you, the actual one that I'm getting. But it's light and Ryuk. It's pretty sick, and like an apple. Hit me up on Instagram. I'll send it to you.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. I took way more of your time than I expected you.
Oh no, I enjoy this. This is way more fun. I get all these interviews. Who do you want to fight next? What do you think's next with this? I can talk anime and fighting all day, so we're good.
Yeah, that's what I try to do. I watch interviews. I try to not ask the same questions over and over again.
It's hard though.
Yeah, it really is because I'm like,
what do you ask? You know, like what is there to actually ask that hasn't been asked already? You know.
Yeah, and so I still have to give this to a website that's gonna talk about MMA. So I try to sprinkle in a little bit of everything in there. But yeah, I vibe with you, especially because you like all the nerdy stuff too, and I'm not super anime savvy, but I know my Dragon Ball Z, I know my Avatar.
If you like Avatar and you like Dragon Ball Z, you should watch. Have you seen Death Note?
Bits of it.
You should watch it. It's on Netflix. You should watch it start to finish. Man, a lot of people talk to me. They're like, hey, we don't like anime because you got the annoying female character. You got the weird, anime stuff. You got. I get it. Death Note doesn't have any of that. It's all psychological. It's a great show. If you don't like anime, I suggest you watch it and see if you change your mind because it's a really good show that doesn't have all the stuff that most people don't like about anime, myself included.
I'll put it next on the list. It's gonna take precedent over. I was going to go back and rewatch Inuyasha. I remember watching it as a kid whenever it come on a Toonami or something like that. And
what is it?
Inuyasha.
Is that the samurai one?
Yeah.
Yeah, where he's got the X on his cheek.
Yeah.
Yeah. I loved that when I was a kid. Oh man, I haven't seen that in forever.
And then Full Metal Alchemist, of course. That one.
No, watch Full Metal Alchemist. Watch Full Metal Alchemist. Brotherhood.
I'll check it out.
You got to watch Brotherhood. Don't watch the other one. Watch Brotherhood.
All right. Let me know if you ever need something. I'd recommend BoJack Horseman. Not anime. Good dialogue though. If you like crying, if you need help with the weight cut, watch the penultimate episode of each season. You'll cry right out.
I'm always down for the ones that could get you invested. If you're crying about it, you're invested in it. So I'm down for that.
Oh yeah, I grew up crying, brother. The first movie I remember was The Iron Giant.
Oh, dude, that's a sick one too, man. The end. Yeah.
I got the hard copy right there. I sleep with that thing.
That's awesome, man. Awesome.
But thank you again. I really do appreciate the time.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Anytime.
Thank you. Have a good one. Have fun training, Doc. See you.
Bye.